My name is Gregory Wilson from Los Angeles, interviewing Scott Wells, corporate entertainer from Houston. Let's start with, what is a corporate entertainer?
Well, that's a good question. Well, let's break that down actually into two parts. First of all, I call myself an entertainer because I entertain using magic as the vehicle to entertain. And I call myself a corporate entertainer because I specialize in focusing just on corporations, companies that are having, let's say, customer events. If they're going to be having some customers coming in for a special seminar of some sort, and they're going to have various speakers, then I may act as the master of ceremonies, kind of tying it all together. Other times, then I will be working, doing close-up, sleight of hand during the strolling cocktail hour, perhaps then later being like the keynote entertainer to entertain their customers for that special event afterwards. Also, I work then for employee parties. Let's say if it's going to be an awards banquet or if it's going to be a holiday event, things like that. Other, again, cocktail parties during the holidays or whatever. So there are a variety of different kinds of things. And in particular, I do a lot of trade shows or industry conferences in which that I work at the booths of these companies and I help to attract traffic, a lot of potential clients, and getting them to stop in the aisles and then come on into the booth and understand more about the product. So again, my focus and specialty is working with corporate clients, which is why I would call myself then a corporate entertainer.
On stage, it's also walk around strolling type magic during a cocktail hour.
During cocktail hour or a hospitality suite that might be perhaps after the trade show, in which you have clients that are going to be coming in and out throughout the evening, and so they get to experience a little bit of fun then also. So the advantage is if they hire me for the cocktail party then to begin with, followed by a later comedy stage show, people get to know me in an intimate setting, so that way they get to have some fun to begin with, because I'll be doing some walk around strolling magic in which magic happens before their eyes and under their nose and in their hands. And then that way, again, they feel comfortable whenever I would call them up on stage a little bit later, because that way they know that I'm going to treat them with respect and they know I'm not going to embarrass them. There's no rude or crude situations and everybody will have just a great time.
So you've developed a rapport with them, and there's three choices really. You can do the strolling while people meet and greet, on stage where everybody sees it all at once, or
Right.
both.
That's right. That's right. And that is to differentiate myself from a children's show entertainer, because although I've done hundreds of birthday parties, I no longer really focus on children, but again, as a corporate entertainer, there are often times in which my corporate clients will bring in their families, or perhaps their customers will bring in their families as well. So I know how to entertain children, certainly, and I often bring them up on stage first, and so that way that the adults can vicariously live through those children up on stage. They're having a great time, and then later bring the adults up on stage. So I would say that not only is my entertainment family friendly, but certainly from time to time I do family shows as well.
And you look like a CEO or a president, so you fit right in. I'm sure you know their language because you've worked in the corporate world.
I've worked in the corporate world for about 25 years. I was in the energy business, and I worked from being a roustabout in the oil field to being an executive vice president in the boardroom. So I've had a pretty good and wide experience of relating to people from all walks of life. And during that time, while I was in the energy business, certainly I was taking some time for my vacations in order to go and work for corporate clients for their special events, for trade shows, and for their banquets and holiday parties, cocktail parties, a few private events and things like that that they may have at home if they're having a special 50th birthday party or 60th, or some sort of momentous event occasionally, then also at weddings, things like that. So certainly it's been focused for a long number of years on entertaining adults at corporate environments.
I'm sure you travel even though you're from Houston.
I do travel. I don't work necessarily just in Houston exclusively, although that seems to be where most of my work is, but I do use the Houston airport and the airplane as being my magic carpet, so I can fly wherever that the client might want me to work, whether it's going to be in Dubai or Aberdeen, Scotland, or perhaps in Las Vegas, Calgary, Canada, wherever. So I do travel from coast to coast and across the pond then as well, performing internationally as the occasion may arise.
Let me ask you this to wrap this up real quick. What makes you different than other entertainers? And I'm going to guess it's one word: interaction.
It is interaction. And I would also say not just interaction, because some other magicians may interact as well, but mine would be how I would customize that for the company I'm working with. And so people will remember the company, particularly if I'm working then at a trade show, this way that they understand and will work with that company longer because they have this good feeling. You know, if you hire a band or a DJ and you have music playing in the background, your customers are not going to remember the music. They won't remember the food. They won't remember the little ballpoint pen or whatever thing that you're going to be giving them. But the experience is something you can never remove from your memory. It's like going on vacation. You know, when you have a great time, you will remember that vacation the rest of your life. And the same thing here with magic. You have a memorable experience that fooled you completely, but not just fooled you, but entertains. Like, this guy was great. I just had a great time, and so therefore it's a memorable experience that they will never forget. And along with that, the company who had hired me, that they get a.
I was just going to say that actually. So if you're memorable, if the show's memorable, the person who hires you is probably going to get all the credit. So you're in the spotlight.
That's right.
But afterwards,
they are in the spotlight, and they get all the credit then for making the right decisions and engaging me for their performance.
So in one word, success.
That's ScottWells.com.